Why do all these old people start their videos going? Just like I just did. I tell you, I'm getting old here. It's been a weird growing year. I'm going to show you an update on my garden here. Um, these are doing all right. I have mushrooms growing now, which is kind of hilarious because I don't want them there. Number one, and number two, um, it's a sign that I have good soil. Number three, it was a very dry year. No matter how much I watered this, I still had to deal with the heat. And one good thing, and one reason why I have these amazing trees that I planted from seeds is that they keep that midday sun off of you. So right now I'm at the end of the growing season. Depending on the weather, I could have 2 months left. I could have a week. It all depends on that killing frost when it hits. And everything's starting to die off. You can see the tomatoes are getting towards the end of their cycle. I had a problem with this year, this black spot on the bottom, and what that's from is from heat. It can also be fungal, but I doubt that because it was so dry. Because it was so dry, I was losing moisture in the tomato plants, even though it was running up the stem. The tomatoes just basically say, hey, I'm going to make fruit, but I'm going to not make them as big, and I'm going to go from there. Now, if I had more growing season, what I could do is I could take all these spots like these here and sucker them off, and I could start new plants and just go from there. But it's going to be winter soon. There's going to be full snow. So I'm at the end here, but I love this. I love this to where it's your last batch of tomatoes. And what you do with them, you throw them in there. You let them compost, and they will be your tomatoes for next year. You will get a lot of volunteers from these, and you can hand pick. There's still a lot of really good ones here. This one's awesome. Cut the bad spots out. Yeah. Had a lot of luck with these. These are a Amish paste tomato. So here, my peppers are doing really good. This is the time of year you get the best peppers, in the fall, when your peppers are doing really well. You get these nice ones that come on, and they just go absolutely crazy. I had beans. The beans did really well. This is a volunteer from last year. You can see right now, like, you think that they're going to start slower and take a lot more time than the ones that you're planting, but in the end, they about even out. You can even get, like, I'm getting another thing of bok choy in here. Pak choy, however you call it. It's that Vietnamese cabbage. My other cabbages here, they didn't really do that great because, let's face it, it was dry. But I'll get some nice little cabbages out of that, and there'll be cabbages and kings. All right. Strawberries, doing just absolutely wonderful. I have two types. I have a native one I use for pollination. Doesn't give much. I have these ones I planted from a dry root stock, and they gave some. It's the first year it was dry. They held up to the Namibian strawberries. Got the sage, lavender, lemon balm, lemon basil, chives, the mint. The mint's doing really great. You can see I've been showing you all summer. You pinch it back and got some flowers on it, but what I'm doing is minimalizing flowers and getting more with the actual mint. Got a good batch of that. Black pearl pepper. Be digging that one out. I had that from last year, and I put it inside. Really rare type of pepper. Habaneros. These did okay. Not the greatest because of the fact that I didn't have a lot of dirt in there. What I did is I wanted this year to be for mulching. So I put a lot of wood mulch in the bottom, about a foot, and then I added dirt on top of it. So you can see it's compacted down. I can next year add more dirt to this, at least another bag or two, and it will be a better crop. It's just getting that earth established to what you want. And even as dry as it was, that mulch on the bottom kept it nice and moist. Look how that's coming back right there, that pepper. It was snipped off by I believe a squirrel. And it's showing me that I have a really good root system, that it will come back. that really worked really well, and every year it's going to get better. Fig tree, fig tree is doing great. Now you'll notice that I have a difference here. These are from old water mains that Burrow was cutting up, and they told me I could have a few to plant in. And I had two of them here. I had one for garlic, one for asparagus. So I just got this other raised bed right here. It was 20 bucks. It was on sale. It's a little different than the ones that I got that Raylan gave me. It's got this plastic that goes around. I got one like this for my sister. Is it made as well? Time will tell. It doesn't have that bar in the middle. But I'm using this for garlic and asparagus. These things are really dangerous to put together. The first couple screws doesn't seem too bad, but then when you start dealing with metal, it'll cut you so easily. I got cut on my hand already. But I got 2 pounds of Siberian garlic, and I had some already here that I got many, 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 many years ago. My grandfather lived next to Sam Torilla. His father brought it from Italy. It's an Italian garlic, very similar, but I can tell the difference. The Italian garlic's more of a purple. They're both a hard stem garlic, but I have those 2 pounds, way more than I'm going to need for planting. I'm only probably going to need maybe 2 or 3 of those cloves tops to put in here. This gives me the benefit I can add sand, I can add cocoa coir, I can add more fertilizer, keeping the soil real loose so those garlic bulbs just go crazy. And I'm going to do that with this because before I had them, my dad had some down along the fence here, and as you can see, you really can't cultivate it too well along here. But this will help me get a good batch of it established. I don't use a whole lot of garlic. I can grow a lot in a small space and not worry too much because garlic tends to do that. Just needs, you have to have that loose soil for it. And I have a lot of fertilizer I'm going to, after this dies off, this really doesn't. A lot of these I'm going to put a lot of fertilizer in the fall. When this is all ready in about a couple weeks to be torn out, throw it down, let it sit all winter, let it like get in that soil. Yes, I'm going to lose some of those nutrients, but what it's going to do is going to have more natural fertilizer. It's going to spread evenly throughout the soil instead of being something like where you throw it in with the plant when you plant it. Tribal people, indigenous, would put a dead fish in each plant, corn, when they plant it. We have fertilizer that's a lot more centralized than that, and it burns a lot of the roots. If you do it in the fall and you let it break down, it's still there, and the plants have to work for it a little more, but you still have that fertilizer in there. And I'm getting back to where I had this whole garden. Originally it was more like a truck patch. Came out much, much further. I had a big garden out to this tree. But raised bed systems have made it a lot more efficient. Now, one thing I'm going to show you something that a lot of people don't think about. You make your yard a little messy, yeah. But see all these fences I have here. Every one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so forth. I could put one of those raised beds on each one. I could put up to the line, because I'm on a hill, tear them down, give stability for the fence right on the post, and I could also have raised beds the whole way down there if I wanted to. Thought about it because, in essence, I could do away with this garden and get away from the idea of a traditional square garden. Everybody did it in New England, and have multiple tier system, which would actually give me 5 times the amount of ground that I have right now to work with, and it would not take away from it. The only thing is you have that all along there. You can do several things. Being on a hill, it makes it nice. You can do a drip irrigation system. Not too worried about it. I have too many things planted to get to that, but this space here is all just wild strawberries and apparently poison ivy. But I have some odd garlic growing right here. You'll see that in this old rose bush that's over 100 years old. So I'm using it a lot for medicinal plants. I have my orange balm. Down here I have lemon balm. But you can see you can put plants near the fence line like I have here. I have some peppers down here towards this end, and some green peppers. What's nice about it, the fence protects it. So if I decided that if I did that with that tier system, I could, if I know I'm going to have a frost or it's going to be cold, I could just throw a tarp and have it cover them. All right, I want to give you guys just an update of the end of the growing season, you know.